Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show reviews. I am Mo Thépuppét, your resident Fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And today, we're going to be reviewing the 6th episode of Clarice, entitled How Does It Feel to Be So Beautiful? Clarice is coming to you from CBS and, of course, streaming on Paramount Plus. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Stick around because I have opinions about things. Clarice episode 6, entitled How Does It Feel to Be So Beautiful? Which, as we find out, is a quote from Buffalo Bill that he says as he's dying to Clarice. How does it feel to be so beautiful? This is a follow-up episode to the previous episode where Clarice was, captured and drugged and all that fun. She went through a big traumatic incident with Dr. I think it's Mary Felker, who was, I don't even want to call her an angel of death. She's a bad scientist, and she's no longer with us because she killed herself in the previous episode. But this is a pretty big, nasty ordeal, and so of course, Director Krendler puts her on administrative leave, and probably for the a good thing, because she really did go through some crap, and her brain's kind of like mixing everything up with Bill and what happened and who's the guy that smacked the hell out of her, all this other stuff. It's a pretty big thing, but of course, because Clarice Starling doesn't, she does what she wants, she's not prepared quite yet to let that go. In the meantime, we also find Ardelia trying to track down the DNA evidence to see if she can prove who the hell this dude is that smacked her friend upside the head while she was with Mary Felker. And we also have the rest of the team sort of trying to track down like, who at the big pharmaceutical company, I wish I could remember the name of it, may have had anything to do with Mary Felker, who apparently was working for them. And we find all the red tape and all the roadblocks that they run into. Obviously, these are big, powerful companies and people, so the government, the government is very, what's the word, corruptible. People in the government are corruptible, so they find out they're running into problems getting to the truth. And at the same time, you have Director Krendler, Paul Krendler, trying to keep it together, but also dealing with his pending divorce, the changes in the previous episode that have led to him possibly having zero any kind of custody, and also dealing with the fact that his wife is still an alcoholic and is possibly a danger to the kids. So he goes out to see a divorce lawyer who he doesn't call but calls him. It's all. What does that have to do with anything? We have to wonder about this. It's very. I'll have to say that this is one aspect of this show that they get absolutely right. The fact that they are delving into the characters so deeply. This is an episode where not a lot happened. Last episode there was a lot of kind of action and intrigue and all that stuff with Clarice being in prison and drugged and all that stuff, intubated. It was really kind of horrific. And there was a lot of revelations about her personally and her background. This episode seems intent on developing the surrounding characters in interesting ways. For instance, we learn more about Thépuppét, who, he seems to have been with the agency for maybe a decade or, something like that. And about his wife who died of cancer and all that. There's a very interesting small little exchange between him and Esquivel. Really kind of opens up who Thépuppét is as a person. It's very interesting. We also see, of course, I said Krendler and the wife that's still an alcoholic, and the son that pages him to get him there, and he's scared and everything, and how this kind of pushes Krendler over the edge of really going for the divorce and attempting to get custody angle. You have the divorce lawyer who messages him out of nowhere, or asks him to have dinner out of nowhere, and who volunteers to be his lawyer in the divorce. And We also see, of course, we see more of how Ardelia, she's, again, they're showing Ardelia is a great agent, and she's following up, and she's figuring out that there's a cover up going on, not that the cover up that saved Krindler and the Vicap's ass in the previous episode was also someone's also covering up to keep them from finding out who attacked Clarice. And then, of course, kind of the big showpiece of this episode is the entire I don't want to call it a triangle, but the weird kind of dysfunctional relationship that the Attorney General is trying to foster between her daughter, who is a survivor of Buffalo Bill. She's the one that stole the dog and everything in Silence of the Lamb and didn't get killed. So was saved by Clarice. And between her and Clarice, and I guess the Attorney General herself, who has Clarice come over has her come over for dinner in exchange for possibly overriding Paul Krindler's insistence that she go on administrative leave. And what follows is one of the most uncomfortable, possibly the most uncomfortable dinners anyone's ever going to bear witness to, complete with dog urinating on the side, urinating near where they're eating. Someone just wanting to eat yogurt because she's afraid of being overweight, so she doesn't want to become someone's skin job. Clarice trying to make a connection and also trying to keep her from doing something stupid to go confront Buffalo Bill's mom. The Attorney General herself, a concerned parent that also has spent her whole life being in control and solving supposedly unsolvable problems, and finding her daughter's the unsolvable problem that won't get better just because she wishes it or insists upon it, or in any way, in any shape or form, thinks she has some kind of control over. It's all extremely interesting. Again, no action in this episode, none. No real action in this episode. No guns getting drawn, any of that stuff. But what we do get is a lot of interpersonal drama. That dinner, woo, talk about one you don't ever want to go to. But seeing the bit with Krindler and how he's a devoted family man. That I've heard that this show is rehabilitating Paul Krindler as a character, because apparently he's a big villain in the follow up stories to Silence of the Lambs. I really like his character in here. He's stand up. He's a dude that's trying to do right, and also he's got this big job, on hand that he's getting pulled in two directions on. And of course, the Vicap team, they're really showing how good they are. And Ardelia, she's a great friend, great agent. The whole bit at the dinner between Clarice and the I forget her name, but the woman who survived Buffalo Bill. It's just good stuff. What do they say? Chef's kiss. That's great. Just great stuff. It's just all very awkward and off-putting, and in the best possible way. So overall, really, really like this episode. I think Clarice is just really hitting its stride. It had one episode that was kind of whatever early on, but here at episode 6, it's really hitting on all cylinders as far as I'm concerned. Just a show that surprisingly doesn't need Hannibal Lecter to be interesting, and psychological and stimulating and all that stuff. And of course they're laying breadcrumbs. They're laying the trail out so we can follow along. And of course we find out that lawyer, that's the guy that slapped the hell out of Clarice. So what does he have to do with everything? Why is he all of a sudden wanting to be a lawyer? It's so intriguing. So I would say watch this episode. In fact, watch this show if you're not watching it, but definitely watch this episode. It really is. It's really tying into everything. It's a great bit of, serialized. I don't even want to call it serialized. It's all the threads are continuing to, run along, and it's all very interesting to me. So that's my review of the episode. What did you guys think about Clarice episode 6? And what did you think about my review? Why don't you let me know down in the comments, or of course you can hit me up supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And hey, are you subscribed? You're not? Well, get down there and hit that subscribe button and join the Super Not Funny Show family. We'd love to have you. And of course, you can hit the notification bell so you can be informed when we drop new content. And we do that every week. New reactions, new reviews, anything else that floats our pop culture boat. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me on this review of Clarice Episode 6. Come back next week for yet another review on Clarice. Until then, I have been Mo Thépuppét, your resident Fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.